boy.
You about to mess around and find out.
Do it again. Open the gate.
Today we have YouTubers that became murderers by chilling scares. And after, we have Scary Comp 107 by Bizarre Bub. I hope you have your snacks. I hope you have your bev. And as always, let's get scared together.
Suzanne Eaton was a 59-year-old American scientist who was working as a professor of molecular biology in Dresden, Germany. A big part of her job at this institute was to travel around the world and hold conferences on the latest developments in her field. In July of 2019, she traveled to the scenic Greek island of Crete for one of these conferences, not knowing that this was going to be her last, and that the person responsible for her end would be caught because of his videos on YouTube. The incident happened on July 2nd.
Wait, okay, for a second I was like, wait, she's the YouTuber that became a murderer? But then, let's continue. My bad on that.
Second, when after a conference, Suzanne spent time with her peers and played the public piano in the venue's lobby before saying her goodbyes and heading out to her hotel in the afternoon.
Wow.
Sadly, this was the last time anyone saw Suzanne alive. Her coworkers noticed her absence when she didn't show up for the second conference scheduled for 6 p.m. that evening. It wasn't like her to skip events out of the blue. Something wasn't right. A fact that became increasingly clear when over 24 hours passed without anyone hearing from her. So on July 3rd, her colleagues called the police to check on her, hoping she was simply sick or something similar. However, when officers arrived at her hotel room, no one answered the door. They acquired a spare key from the hotel management and went inside, only to find the room completely empty and undisturbed. All of Suzanne's belongings were also still in the room. The only things missing were her running shoes and a set of exercise clothes. Those who knew her immediately understood what this meant. You see, in addition to her academic prowess and piano expertise, Suzanne was also an athlete at heart. She was a double black belt in Taekwondo, and despite her age, loved going on a run every day. Knowing this helped investigators narrow down what might have happened.
Hold up. Double black belt and what do you say? Taekwondo? Okay. Dang, that sucks though. Like obviously she seems so sweet, but it's all like, I wonder how the YouTuber / murderer like caught her off guard. You know what I mean? Man.
Happened to her. Put simply, she likely went on a run soon after returning to her hotel on July 2nd, and something went wrong after that. She wasn't super familiar with the area, and to make matters worse, the weather was uncomfortably hot that afternoon. There was a strong possibility she collapsed from the heat or something else along those lines. After putting this together, the Crete police immediately dispatched a search and rescue team in the area surrounding her hotel and around popular running trails.
Wow, are you serious?
Crete and put a €50,000 reward for anyone who could help find Suzanne. Unfortunately, Suzanne was nowhere to be found. That is until 5 days later, on July 8th, when two young men were exploring one of the abandoned World War II Nazi bunkers scattered across Crete. Around 200 meters in, one of them noticed a piece of burlap covering something on the ground. They picked it up from one end to see what was underneath. And what they found was the aftermath of one of the most horrific crimes in Crete's recent history. The burlap was covering the bloody remains of Suzanne Eaton. A later autopsy report discovered that Suzanne had several broken ribs, multiple fractures throughout her body, a missing ear, and much more. Whatever happened to her certainly was not an accident. The investigators began searching for clues, and fortunately it didn't take long for them to make their first major breakthrough: a set of car tire tracks leading up to the entrance of the bunker. Analyzing these tracks allowed investigators to find the car responsible for transporting Suzanne's remains to that bunker. It belonged to 27-year-old Yanis Paraskakis, a local sheep farmer. But when questioned, Yanis feigned ignorance and claimed that him driving through that area on that day was nothing more than a coincidence. He went as far as to say that he didn't even know about the existence of that bunker, a lie that would eventually lead to his arrest. You see, Yanis had a dream to become a successful YouTuber. He started a channel with his own name in 2012 and began posting videos. However, if you go to his channel today, all you'll find are 3 videos of him performing an ancient Chinese martial art and meditation technique called Qigong. That's because a couple days before Suzanne's body was discovered, Yanis deleted every other video on his channel, and once authorities recovered some of these deleted videos, it became clear why. You see, most of these deleted videos involved Giannis exploring abandoned World War II bunkers,
Why?
including the one where Suzanne's remains were discovered. This contradiction gave the authorities the go-ahead to formally arrest him on July 15. It also allowed them to investigate him further, and the evidence they discovered was overwhelming. As it turned out, the land where this bunker was located was owned by Giannis's family. Investigators also found traces of Suzanne's blood in his car's trunk. When confronted with this evidence, Giannis cracked and told the whole story. According to him, he saw Suzanne running down the road and something came over him. He hit her with his car twice before putting her in his car, driving to the bunker, and ending her life there. He later changed his story to where he was compelled to commit this crime by a demon. Unfortunately for him, the jury didn't buy this one bit.
Oh my god, the whole wandering, the devil made me do it, like, oh my god, dude. That's sad, man. That is very, very sad. This world is cruel, man. Truly.
And sentenced him to life in prison without the possibility of parole in 2020. Now, this should have been the end of Giannis's story, but from what I've seen, there's more to his actions than just this one crime he was convicted of.
What?
The thing is, Giannis presented his vile act as a crime of opportunity, something he did completely out of nowhere. However, there's evidence to suggest that Giannis might be a full-blown serial killer. For instance, he was apparently detained by the police twice before, once for arson and once for animal cruelty, both of which are well-known early behaviors.
Nah. Animal cruelty and arson? Nah. Underneath the jail you go, bruh. Underneath the jail you go. Cause that is insane, bro.
Of serial killers. After his arrest, several other women also came forward, testifying that he had tried to run them over with his car as well in the past. So, Suzanne was more than likely not his first victim. However, the most solid evidence against Giannis is in one of the deleted videos he uploaded to YouTube. In it, we can see him showing some very human-looking bones scattered throughout the same bunker Suzanne was discovered in. These bones were never discovered by the authorities, suggesting they might have been removed by Giannis to hide evidence. But what makes this truly disturbing is what his friend says at one point in the same video.
So real quick before we continue. So you said the devil made you do it in your latest act. Then multiple women pretty much show up and pretty much testify that, yeah, he tried to run over us as well. Did the devil make you do those too? Did the devil make you do arson and animal cruelty? Like, nah.
This roughly translates into, is this where you left that old guy? Insinuating that Giannis had disposed of one of his previous victims in the same bunker before.
Bruh.
And if that is the case, one can only wonder how many other people Giannis has killed over the years.
So the demon or devil made you do all this, huh? It was never like your own doing? Nah, that's honestly devastating. Like, truly.
Simply Manic 6075 was a YouTube channel owned and operated by 24-year-old Samantha Wolford. She lived in the small community of Monticello, Texas with her husband Ernest Lee Ibarra, aka Ernie, and their 5 children. She usually made videos about her day-to-day life and other random topics. Her story began in 2008 when she was at the lowest point of her life. She'd recently become the single mother of a pair of twins and had no love interest in her life. That's when she met Ernie at a local tattoo shop, and the two hit it off right from the get-go, eventually getting in a relationship and starting a family together.
Okay.
In one of her videos, Samantha described the day she met Ernie as the happiest day of her life. Together, they were blessed with 3 more children, including 1 more pair of twins. Raising 5 kids was a challenge, but
Yeah.
Ernie made it work by taking a second job in pizza delivery. So
Okay.
while they had endured tough times together, Samantha, Ernie, and their 5 children appeared to be the perfect loving family. However, while being a stay-at-home mother was all she could do at the time, Samantha still had a dream of becoming a famous actress one day.
I've always wanted to be an actress. I think it is so much fun. I've been extras in movies. I've had small parts in like short films. It is so much fun and it is so beautiful. It is one of the most amazing forms of art ever to be able to express yourself that way. I think it's amazing.
So in
Okay, so I'm guessing this is the turning point. But yeah, 5 kids. And yeah, homie's working 2 jobs. I mean, right on for homie. I mean, that's good on him, but I need to see the turning point.
October 2010, she created her YouTube channel and started posting videos, hoping to become a popular YouTuber and fulfill her dream on the internet instead.
Okay.
And things were going surprisingly okay in the beginning. Samantha would post new videos whenever she had something new to say. And while most of her videos struggled to get past 100 views at the time, the few viewers she had were enough to keep her going.
Right on.
But as time passed on, her passion for making videos
That's how I feel about y'all. That's how I feel about y'all. Y'all keep me pushing. Yeah, y'all keep me pushing. I appreciate y'all. But sorry, that was random. But I do appreciate y'all.
turned into an obsession. She started spending more of her time on making videos than her family, putting even more pressure on an already stressed out Ernie.
Right.
Around 2014, she also started accusing Ernie of hurting her in her videos, hinting at just how bad their relationship was going. But then, after posting a seemingly random video in March of 2014, Samantha mysteriously vanished from the internet. Maybe she lost interest in YouTube or just wanted to focus on her family again. No one knew exactly why she quit so abruptly. Then, on the 20th of February 2015, viewers finally received
Please. I think I know where this is going. Please tell me she's not gonna do. I mean, clearly this is the past. Please tell me she did not do what I think she did. Please, for the love of God, tell me she did not do what I think she did.
the update they were waiting for. Unfortunately, it was far more tragic than anyone could have imagined. It started with the Texas police receiving a call from one of Samantha's aunts asking them to save her niece's life.
Titus County 911, what's your emergency?
I have a home invasion. My niece is tied up. I am at the verge of untying my niece at this particular moment.
Okay, she's tied up.
She is tied up and gagged.
And gagged? Is that what you
Yes,
said?
ma'am.
Is there anybody else there?
So where are the kids? We have 5 small infants asleep.
It was the husband? He must have cracked under pressure because she started YouTube or being like an at-home mom or stay-at-home mom. And homie must have cracked under pressure. Because, I mean, working 2 jobs. Eventually, she cared more about YouTube than her own family, which means he had 2 jobs. Plus, he had to take care of the 5 kids. Wait, hold on. Let me stop pausing. Let's get the full story before I mention anything. But this is gonna be insane.
Apparently, 3 masked men broke into their home in the middle of the night and attacked the couple while they were asleep. The intruders then tied Samantha in her bedroom and, after hitting him with a gun a few times, kidnapped Ernie. Samantha somehow managed to get her ties loose enough to call her aunt, who then contacted the police after arriving at Samantha's home herself. By the time officers arrived, Samantha's aunt had set her free from the restraints. The kids were fortunately safe as well. However, what made this whole situation strange was that the intruders didn't take anything else from their home besides Ernie. And from the people who knew him personally, Ernie wasn't the type of guy to make enemies with dangerous people. Put simply, investigators sensed something fishy with the whole situation. But all that paled in comparison to the main objective, which was to save Ernie as soon as possible. Unfortunately, Samantha didn't know anything that could give investigators their first clue. With no other option, the officers took Samantha to the station for further questioning, hoping to extract any useful information they could from her. But what none of them expected was that Samantha would change up her story completely after entering the interrogation room. Where before she didn't know anything about the assailants, now she had the name of a potential suspect, John Rebel. As Samantha's story goes, she was talking to her friend about Ernie's supposed attacks on Samantha, when suddenly a man with the pseudonym John Rebel overheard their conversation and started talking about how a man shouldn't treat a woman that way and that he was going to handle the situation. Well, as it turned out, the name John Rebel actually belonged to someone, a man named Jonathan Sanford. The police found and arrested John not long after Samantha gave out his name, right alongside his two accomplices, Jose Ponce and Octavius Rhymes. Surprisingly, Jonathan put up little to no resistance and immediately confessed to kidnapping Ernie. He also confirmed the worst possible outcome.
Oh, bruh.
By the time the police got involved, Ernie was already dead. The three took him to a secluded forest and executed him with one shot to the back of his head.
Okay, hold on. Because we pretty much got the full story now. I'm not gonna tell you what I was thinking. I thought it was gonna be the worst of the worst because it literally says YouTubers that became murderers. So yeah, just use your imagination. I'm not gonna say what I was thinking, but yeah, I wasn't expecting kidnappers. I mean, you heard my version. I really thought like homie done snapped. And then I don't know, probably ended up killing this girl. And then I don't know, taking the babies or whatever. And then my other one was, yeah, I'm not going to explain it, but I wasn't expecting kidnappers. But I mean, for her to be in cahoots, for her to be in on it, dang, bruh. I mean, homie just wanted a normal life. I mean, homie was working 2 jobs. He must have loved them 5 kids, honestly. And his girl. Okay. Now we need to get down to the why.
However, even after learning all this, one question remained. Why? Why would 3 men who didn't even know Ernie kidnap him from his home like that?
Right.
Every answer to this question pointed back to Samantha, who kept denying any involvement. Even if the investigators ignored her suddenly remembering the perpetrator's name, there were several other suspicious aspects to her story. Like, how was she able to untie herself enough to call her aunt?
Right.
Why didn't any of her neighbors hear the break-in? And why were the kids all sleeping in the same room when usually they're scattered throughout the house? It wasn't long before investigators uncovered undeniable evidence of her direct involvement.
She recorded
This
it.
included instruction messages she sent to Octavius when the officers were trying to call Ernie's phone, which he had on him. These read, "Kill his phone, shut that down, ditch phone, move." There was no doubt about it at this point. Samantha was in colluding with her husband's killers. And as the investigation went on, the real story came out as well. Samantha had apparently become addicted to the idea of becoming a famous YouTuber, and her neglect of the kids became a constant source of fighting between the couple. But instead of resolving the issue like a responsible adult, Samantha colluded with her friend's boyfriend to hatch a cartoonishly evil scheme to get rid of Ernie.
I'd
They
say.
first wanted to plant hard drugs in his car and get him arrested, but later made the heartless decision that taking his life would be much easier. There's also a chance that Samantha went with the murder plan because it would have brought her more attention on YouTube. She was eventually
Nah, this whole thing is crazy. She was doing this for clicks, bro. Wow. So she did this whole scheme. The boyfriend or husband, I think it was, no, it says husband right there. The husband was going to be dead this whole time. Then she was going to grow her audience and have them on a freaking who's done a cat and mouse chase for clicks. Wow. Okay, dude. Okay. I don't know what to say. That is pure. That is pure insanity. Pure insanity.
Sentenced to 149 years in prison for killing her own husband, leaving her 5 children completely orphaned in the process.
Like, was homie not doing enough? Homie was working 2 jobs. Then when you were hard focused on YouTube, you added more to his plate. I mean, God only knows if you was even cooking for the man. So that man had to work 2 jobs, cook and possibly clean, as well as take care of the 5 kids. Nah, this is insane, bro. 149 years? Nah, this is insane. Nah, I'm done with this one.
Diana Lovejoy was a successful technical writer living in the town of Carlsbad, California with her husband Greg Mulvihill.
Nah, that's
while her corporate
insane.
job paid the bills, Diana's true passion was becoming a triathlon athlete and documenting her journey on video, resulting in her eventually starting her own fitness blog called Lovejoy Fitness and a YouTube channel by the name of Heavy DJ. She started this channel all the way back in 2008.
Oh, look at all them
used it
seals.
to document various parts of her life, from meeting her parents after a long time to going scuba diving with her husband. At one point, she even tried to become a cooking show host of sorts.
Okay, right on.
Doesn't that smell nice?
Unfortunately,
I can't
her
smell
channel
it,
never
but
really took off, forcing her to eventually cut her losses and move on with her life in March of 2012. Or at least that's what it looked like from the outside. In reality, Diana's reason for abandoning her YouTube channel was kind of wholesome. You see, Diana and Greg had been trying for a baby for years by this point. Tragically, Diana had suffered 8 different miscarriages and was quickly losing hope. But then, in September of 2012, the two were blessed with a perfectly healthy baby boy, marking an end to their struggle. However, what should have been a moment of celebration started a downward spiral of lies and betrayals, eventually culminating in an assassination attempt. Things started going downhill when just a few months after the birth of their son, Greg lost his job, leaving Diana as the sole breadwinner. The stress of the previous miscarriages, combined with the crushing weight of having to support a family in an extremely expensive city all on her own, spelled disaster for their marriage. It wasn't long before the two were constantly fighting with each other. Things escalated even further on July 9, 2014, when Greg returned home only to see a police officer waiting for him at the door. The officer explained that Greg wasn't allowed to enter his own home because, as it turned out, Diana had accused him of attacking both her and their son. What followed was a nearly 2-year-long divorce mediation, during which the investigators found no evidence supporting Diana's accusations, allowing Greg to get a 50-50 custody of their son. Diana was also ordered to pay $120,000 as a part of the divorce settlement in late 2015. But before the divorce could be finalized, Greg received a phone call from an anonymous number that changed everything. The voice on the other end claimed to be a private investigator Diana had hired recently.
Never mind.
And according to this investigator, he already had solid proof of the attack claims Diana had made against Greg. But for some unknown reason, he wanted to help Greg win the case, so he claimed to have left the documents taped to a power pole located on a small hiking trail near Greg's home. Greg naturally found this whole thing pretty suspicious and decided to take one of his friends with him to the pole on the night of September 4th, 2016.
Smart thinking.
Sadly, despite his suspicions, he failed to grasp the true intentions of the strangely helpful private detective.
Hello, this is 911.
Yes. My friend has just been shot.
Do you know who shot him?
There's a guy lying down like a sniper.
A sniper? Did you see him at all?
Briefly, we saw the gun, and he shot at us like 6 or 7 times.
When Greg reached the pole, a sniper opened fire on him, shooting him clean through the chest. Fortunately, the bullet missed his heart by mere inches, giving him a second chance at life. By the time the police arrived, the shooter had already fled the crime scene. But a quick survey of the area allowed the investigators to uncover a pair of towels the shooter left behind. Running a DNA test on these towels led to a man named Weldon McDavid, Diana's shooting instructor. Weldon tried to deny any involvement at first, but the evidence against him was overwhelming, as after a thorough search, investigators were able to find another set of the same towels at Diana's place as well. They had also received CCTV footage of Diana buying the burner phone Weldon later used to lure Greg into the secluded area. Most importantly, investigators also found the gun Weldon used on Greg hidden in the rafters of his garage. By this point, it was clear that Diana was the one who wanted to get rid of Greg, likely to avoid paying the divorce settlement and keep full custody of her son. Diana and Weldon were arrested for the attempted assassination on Greg Mulvihill and tried for their crimes in November 2017. Both were found guilty, with Diana sentenced to 26 years to life and Weldon to a harsher 50 years to life. The only silver lining in this entire case is that Greg was able to make a full recovery and is now living with his son.
Yes, sir. Right on, right on. That's insane. I mean, Greg was low-key smart. Like, his spidey senses kicked in, bro. He was like, nah, something ain't right. Let me bring a homie. Still got shot, unfortunately. But dang. He was all like a private investigator hired by his wife to help him. In the moment, you saw my reaction. I was like, okay, hold up, a private investigator. I mean, Greg obviously was definitely smarter in the moment than I am reacting to this. I would have fell for it. I'm not even gonna lie to you. So Greg, okay, right on. And then he got full custody and a full recovery. Right on, right on.
The Gunnar Runar 87 channel on YouTube seems oddly wholesome at first glance. It's owned by an Icelandic boy named Gunnar Runar Sigthorsson and contains a single 3.5-minute video of him confessing his feelings to the girl he loves. The title translates to English as My Confession to Hildur. In it, he says things like,
Hún á nefa, sérstakasta manneskja sem ég nokkuð tíma hitt. Ég verð svo ótrúlega glaður bara að vera nálægt henni, það er ekki meira.
Wow.
Og þetta er ætlað þér, því að ég held sig orðin ástfangin með þér.
Okay.
However, this seemingly heartfelt love letter turned out to be the key to solving one of the most horrific crimes in recent Icelandic history. And it all led back to Gunnar and the troubled life he had as a child.
Oh
You
God,
see,
what
Gunnar
happened?
didn't have a mother growing up, resulting in him getting extremely close with his father. However, on the night of September 20th, 1996, when Gunnar was just 9 years old, his father decided to end it all using a gun. What made this already messed up situation even worse was the fact that Gunnar was in the room with his father and witnessed everything.
Oh, wow.
Unsurprisingly, this took a heavy toll on Gunnar's mental health. He withdrew from the world and refused to accept his father's death as reality. Everything seemed hopeless for Gunnar. That is until primary school, when he met a girl named Hildur and instantly became infatuated with her. He admired her throughout school and into adulthood, but never found the courage to make a move, fearing he'd lose his only close friend. However, things changed in 2009 when Hildur got engaged to a man named Hannes. This gave Gunnar the push to do something about his feelings, but given his shy personality, he still couldn't confront Hildur directly. So, in March of 2009, he created a YouTube channel and uploaded his confession on there. Hildur never reciprocated his feelings, but the two remained friends. Even Hannes, Hildur's now husband, didn't seem to mind Gunnar's company, something he likely regretted deeply just a year later. It all went down on the 14th of August 2010. Hildur was invited to a party that Gunnar was attending as well, but things got a bit out of hand and Hildur ended up drinking too much and passing out.
Oh
Given their
God.
closeness, the task of getting her home safely was handed to Gunnar, but instead of dropping her off at Hannes' house like he should have, Gunnar took her to his own home. By the time Hildur woke up, it was already morning. She was
Oh
understandably probably furious with Gunnar and immediately called one of her friends to drive her home. But nothing could have prepared Hildur for the horrific scene she witnessed on the other side of her front door.
No.
Her husband Hannes was lying on the top of the staircase near their bedroom, submerged in a pool of his own blood. She ran outside and called the authorities. Sadly, it was already too late. Hannes had received over 20 stab wounds on his body, from his arms and legs to the back of his neck, and was long dead by the time Hildur found him. Given his condition,
I was thinking maybe just a gun. Like, I get it, bruh. You loved her. I get it. Yeah, she married some other dude, but it's all like the dude was cool with you. So it's like, why even do this? Like, he was cool with your company, bruh.
his death was ruled a homicide, and investigators wasted no time in looking for the killer. And while they initially suspected one of his business rivals of committing this horrific crime, it didn't take long for investigators to find Gunnar's video confession to Hildur and bring him in for questioning. Gunnar denied knowing anything about it and was eventually let go due to lack of evidence. Fortunately, not all hope was lost, because not long after that, investigators found a bloody shoe print next to Hannes's bed. Looking deeper into this print revealed that it belonged to a pair of limited edition Adidas shoes. At the time, there were only 18 of these specific shoes in all of Iceland.
Oh wow.
And Gunnar just so happened to own one of these pairs. This was enough evidence to detain him once again. This also gave investigators the authority to do a thorough search of his belongings, resulting in them finding residue of Hannes's blood on his shoes, as well as in his car. Once presented with this evidence, Gunnar confessed to the murder. He also revealed that he'd been planning it for months, and even shoplifted the items he intended to use to avoid purchase records linking back to him. And while he didn't admit to it, Hildur also suspected him of spiking her drink that night, since she usually never passed out like that. After committing the crime, he also drove to a nearby pier and dumped items used in the crime into the sea to get rid of any evidence. It was a well thought out plan, since he was only caught because the garbage bag he used to hide his shoe prints tore open as he walked. As for his motive, it was just as everyone had expected, with him making it clear during the investigation, stating, "I loved Hildur. She was supposed to be with me. She was not supposed to be with him." Surprisingly, he was found not guilty during his first trial on March 1, 2011 by reason of insanity stemming from his messed up childhood. However, the prosecution argued that he was fully aware of his actions and escalated the case to the Supreme Court of Iceland. Gunnar was found guilty on this second trial and was sentenced to 16 years in prison. This was already lenient given the brutality of his crime, yet he ended up serving only half of that sentence as well. He was released under supervision in July 2019 and now works at a local warehouse.
Wow. I mean, again, I'm not excusing like what he did, because definitely what he did was terrible. But yeah, that is sad how, like, you know, you don't have a mom, and then, you know, your dad decides to, you know, do the unthinkable. So yeah, that definitely can, like, you know, affect you mentally. I mean, there's definitely a better reasoning than the devil made me do it. But yeah, nah, this is sad. I wonder, even though I'm pretty sure, I wonder if him and his crush, no, I was gonna say I wonder if they're friends again, but no, I don't think so. Yeah, this was pure insanity. All of them was pure insanity. We have Scary Comp version 107 by Bizarre Bub. Let's get it.
On September 8th of 2025, a strange video was posted by a woman whose mother runs...
Hold up. Oh, this is recent. September 8th, 2025? This is really recent. Hold up.
The daycare center at home. One day, while her mom was looking after a few kids, one of them freaks out and scares the other children around. The following video recorded the incident, but the reason she shares this video isn't just to show this particular occurrence. Apparently, something else was recorded that has left her completely terrified, and she doesn't know what to make of it. This is what was caught.
All right. Was he scared of something? Yeah. He's pointing at the room. He was scared of something. Oh God. Let me know if y'all see something. I don't see nothing. Bro. Casper the Friendly Ghost. Hey, yo. Oh my God. Nah, you need to get them kids up out of there.
Somehow, the playhouse in the corner falls on its own, even though none of the children had touched it. And strangely, it happens only moments after the child ran out of the room, freaked out over something that happened inside.
Nah, for real. If I was that lady, I'd be like, I need a raise because I gotta watch over kids and a ghost. Nah, fork over the money. I need a raise.
Neither mom nor anyone else could figure out what had scared the living daylights out of him. But recently, after posting this video, someone noticed a certain detail that might explain why he was so frightened. It goes without saying, but what they spotted has made the daycare owner deeply unsettled.
Oh nah.
Watch closely.
Oh nah. Let me know if y'all see some. Oh, I did see that. Is that Spider-Man or something?
It wasn't until looking closely at the footage that the daycare owner noticed a pair of hands grabbing the doorway. It seemingly recedes back into the room soon after the child lets out a piercing
That's either Spider-Man or Nosferatu. Moving on.
scream, as if reacting to it. Now, after seeing many comments on this, the daycare owner's daughter, who posted this video, makes another video giving an update on this whole situation.
Right.
I wanted to quickly show you exactly what it was that was scaring the little kid that my mom was watching. So pretty much the house, and obviously it's pretty hefty, so it really doesn't make any sense that it would just fall on its own like that.
Right.
And this is the room. The crazy thing about this is that there was like markings at the top of the entranceway of like the doorway, and I guess in the video you can see hands gripping onto the doorway. I don't really know what to make of that. I thought at first that it was like bugs or something like that.
Bugs?
Almost like two hands like gripping
She said bugs. That's a big bug.
on the top, like leading into this room, just like. But the main thing, and the reason that the little boy was screaming, is actually in here.
What you mean? What is that?
We have this covered up for a reason. Apparently.
Look. Let me talk to you real quick. If something needs to be covered up, if something needs to be covered up, it shouldn't be in the same room as y'all, especially with kids. Like, that needs to be burned to the ground or given to someone else to make it their own, make it someone else's problem. Nah, that's that's wild. But nah, if you, I've seen enough scary movies, Oculus, Conjuring 4, spoilers. If you need to cover up something, it don't need to be around humans. That needs to be in the trash dump. It needs to be on fire. It needs to be out of my sight. Ain't no, this is covered up for a reason. What you mean? Nah, what you need to be saying is this needs to be thrown away. This needs to be thrown away for a reason. No, this needs to be burnt up for a no.
The little boy
Come on now.
told my mom that he saw a face in these mirrors. We already found someone who's going to take it off our hands and pick it up on Facebook Marketplace.
Okay. Yeah, I was just joking. I was just joking about the make it someone else's problem. Like, no. Is the little boy playing Bloody Mary in there or Candyman? Like, if he's seeing faces, I need to see this mess burned to the ground.
Things couldn't get any more creepy. We now know why the little boy had screamed. He had seen something in this vanity mirror. According to him, he saw a face.
Nah.
For this reason, they've been covering this up with a bedsheet so that none of the kids get spooked. They don't
Nah.
know who or what he saw, but they've been keeping all the kids away from going inside, and they plan to keep it that way until the buyer who found this on Facebook Marketplace comes to pick it up. But one night, while looking over at the security cameras, the daycare owner's daughter sees that the child safety gate is opening on its own.
Oh, excuse me. Nope. Nope, excuse me. I need a raise. I'm quitting the job.
That's fucking creepy.
You telling me?
Do it again.
Now, why would you want to? Okay. Okay. Nah, you better stop messing around. That ghost gonna lock you up in there, bruh.
Do it again.
Okay, we acting real bold now.
I'll wait.
You about to mess around and find out.
Do it again. Open the gate.
Y'all saw that? I saw that. The little bed sheet or whatever moved. I didn't see that.
Out of nowhere, something behind the sheet sticks out.
That's
It
crazy.
happens right when she tells the supposed entity to open the gate. Although nothing happens with that, this happens instead. But it's not just this which has caught the attention of the daycare owner's daughter. It's also what appears in the middle of the sheet. After standing up and recording the vanity mirror, two little indents appear on the cover, looking just like fingers pressing from the other side. The thing is though, there shouldn't be another side. The only thing beneath the sheet is the vanity mirror, which doesn't have any moving pieces. But here, something moves.
Nah.
Upon seeing this, she immediately bolts out in a panic frenzy as something with the creepy mirror just happened. She has no idea what was underneath, but whatever it was, she has no intention of finding out or going back into this room. She has since locked the door, making sure no kids get inside.
That we're gonna keep the room closed off from
Right
the
on.
for now, so they
Right
can
on.
in the rest of the space.
While she waits for the buyer to pick up this item, the door remains shut. Now, not much else is known about this story, but even with a lack of info, it's still pretty creepy, which of course is often the case with these videos. But until further updates, this one remains a mystery.
Okay, it was low-key smart that she closed the door. But she could have literally just took the mirror out the room. Just saying. Just saying. Yeah, that's crazy. And that happened recent
Now,
too.
This next video was recorded by a nurse who filmed this video for an older woman
Death
living in
room.
a nursing home. It was 2019 when she took this video, but even to this day, this footage continues to keep her up at night. She recorded this video for the lady since she asked to be filmed. She wanted a video of herself blessing a room where apparently many residents have passed away. The seniors call this the death room because, weirdly enough, whenever a resident stays there, they either get really sick or pass away within a month or two. It's a very
Yo, hold on. Y'all ever seen Dr. Sleep? This is kind of reminding me of that because in Dr. Sleep, spoilers, I recommend that movie. It is the sequel of The Shining. But in Dr. Sleep, there wasn't a death room, but there was a cat that would pretty much climb on top of people. And then that person would like... I'm terrible at describing things. But pretty much the cat knew like who was gonna die next. So the cat would like jump onto like an old person, and that old person would eventually like die in like the next like day or two. That's what this is reminding me of.
very odd occurrence, but the old lady plans to cleanse the room and post the video to her Facebook group. But unfortunately, she doesn't post it because things don't go according to plan. This is what was caught.
Okay, so let's read this real quick, even though I'm pretty sure Bizarre Bub, I'm pretty sure you already explained it, but just to reiterate, throwback to 2019 when a resident asked me to record her cleansing the death room. She wanted it for her Facebook group, so I recorded this for her using her phone. Whenever someone tells me they don't believe in ghosts, I show them this video. Okay.
Heavenly Father, I ask for your divine presence to fill this space. May your light shine brightly through every room, cleansing this home of any negativity, fear, or unrest. Let peace dwell in every corner, and love be the foundation of every wall. Bless this home with your protection, surrounding it with your angels.
Real quick, I know I keep pausing it. You want to turn on the light so you can see what you're looking at? Like, I'm pretty sure you can bless the room while the light is on. That way it's more safe in a way and more secure in a way. That's just me, though. That's just me.
And shielding it from harm and evil. May every door be a passage to your grace, and every window open to your blessings. In Jesus' name.
She didn't notice
May
that?
every door be a passage to your grace, and every window open to your blessings. In Jesus' name.
It happens quickly, but the rosary gets lifted. Yet saying that is an understatement because looking closely, it actually appears as if someone had yanked the string of beads.
Yeah.
However, no one is there. The only plausible explanation would be that the old lady had moved her arm or wrist, which made the rosary move. But clearly,
I didn't
she
see
doesn't.
that. Yeah.
Now, the person who took this is a nurse who works at this care center, and she states that while taking this video, she couldn't help but feel nauseous. She no doubt believes that there's something off with this room and mentions that there have been other incidents involving this space. One particular incident that she can't stop thinking about is when one of her coworkers recorded this. During a group therapy session,
Nice
which
doggo.
included a therapy dog. This happened.
Nice doggo, nice doggo. What's going on? She has never left the group before. Oh. Oh. Yeah, the dog knows something. The dog knows something.
For some reason, the therapy dog breaks away from the group to stare at this room, which happens to be the same room where many people have passed away.
Jesus,
This is unusual
man, these are
since dogs like
intense.
this are trained to stay calm and close to their handler, yet strangely, they do this. But even weirder is the fact that they're whimpering.
Yeah.
If no one or anything is there, then what was causing them to act this way? Only one answer comes to mind according to the nurses who work here, and it's that the room is haunted. Knowing that the so-called death room has had many elders pass away inside, residents and nurses aren't surprised by this video. But to this day, strange things continue to happen, and it's always, for some reason, involving this room.
That's sad, yo.
Why is it beeping? I don't know. No one's in there. It's crazy. Get the light. Get the light. You say you checked it? Yes.
Is the door closing?
Did you just get that on camera? No. Stop. I don't. No, I'm not going anymore.
Yo.
No, I don't like this. I don't like this. I don't like this.
Nah. At this point, just burn down. It's too late for the room. Just burn down the whole hospital. It's too late for the room. Just burn down the whole hospital. I'm joking, of course. You can't tell me nursing homes. Oh, this is a nursing home. Yeah, no, just burn it all down. You can't tell me nursing homes aren't haunted. So scared my supervisor. What? So scared I had my supervisor check our haunted room. The call light was going off and nobody's inside. Bro.
Right there.
And it closed by itself too?
Okay, you're gonna stop this right now.
Right on. Okay, hold up. She brave. I would have been gone.
Just like
Okay.
before, the room is empty, yet somehow things continue to happen inside as if someone were still living there. It's no wonder why some residents have taken it upon themselves to fix the so-called problem. From cleansing the room to asking the supposed presence to stop the activity, they've done all they could to end the occurrences. However, as it seems, nothing has changed. To this day, they don't know what's going on with this room. But like all videos, I'll let you come up with your own conclusions. Just what exactly is happening with room 112?
That's crazy. That's crazy.
At around 3 p.m. on a quiet Saturday, Bonita Adonis was home alone watching TV inside her kitchen. It wouldn't be long before her husband came back from the grocery store.
Okay.
According to her, it isn't often the case that she has the whole house to herself, especially considering that her relatives are staying over for a few months. But even they are away from home, leaving Bonita completely alone. However, that may not be entirely true, because based on what was captured on a security camera inside her kitchen, this happened.
Yeah. Okay. Hold on. So I have a very imaginative imagination. Does that make sense? Anyways, what I was thinking is I thought maybe it was like Kid Flash like zoomed across the room and then like the aftermath or the after effects of his own speed made that go crazy. I didn't think of it as like a ghost. I thought someone like ran dummy fast, and yeah, y'all get it. Y'all get it. That's crazy though.
If it wasn't for the passing figure that briefly appeared, Bonita says that she would have written this off as nothing more than an issue with the stove. But seeing how it shook uncontrollably before lifting up and crashing down only seconds after the shadow makes her think this was anything but a typical appliance issue. Now obviously, stoves don't do this, but it's this fact alone that has convinced Bonita and her family that an unseen presence had done this. And perhaps,
not the
as they
actual
believe,
stove.
it's a presence they're familiar with. As mentioned earlier, Bonita's relatives are staying over for a few months. They had gathered there after the recent passing of Bonita's grandmother, who passed away naturally under Bonita's care.
Rest in peace.
According to them, this might have been her spirit. But despite what they believe, I'll let you come up with your own conclusions.
Hold up.
Just been her spirit who passed away naturally under
Bonita's grandmother did that? Yo, Bonita's grandmother is fast as mess. Hello?
Bonita's care. Maybe, according to them, this might have been her spirit. But despite what they believe,
She straight zooming, bruh.
Just what exactly occurred here? Was a ghost responsible for this? Or had something else been at play here that could explain this? Let me know what you think.
Nah, but real talk, rest in peace. Real talk.
Now this next video was posted by a mother who writes that on August 13 of 2025, her daughter was alone downstairs when suddenly her Ring camera recorded something that has left her extremely concerned. It's been barely a month and a half since Jacqueline and her daughter moved into this new house.
Okay.
And now, after seeing what happened to her daughter on this night, she's not sure if staying
That's a
here is
nice
safe.
house.
While Jacqueline is upstairs taking a shower, her daughter is by herself in the kitchen. Suddenly, this happens.
Blowing off steam.
Please don't hurt
But
the
now
baby.
at the casino, she's playing to avenge Paul's death.
Please don't hurt the
She
baby.
lures Victor into a trap, letting him gain his confidence, win a few hands, just to see what his tendencies are. But then she goes for the throat.
Was that a pair of dice?
Within 4 hours, Sally has cleaned Victor out.
What is happening?
$100,000.
Okay, that's kind of natural, I'm not gonna lie. Could be the... Loki could be like the AC, because... Yeah. There's a reasonable explanation for that.
Emotions are so high. These disputes are carried away from poker. You would become so angry that you would act out violently.
Instead of just leaving the game this time, Sally's scared.
With her arm clutched, Jacqueline's daughter immediately runs upstairs to tell mom that something had touched her. Jacqueline froze upon hearing the words that no parent would ever want to hear their own child say. But unfortunately,
Never
there's
mind.
evidence. Something had apparently left a mark on her forearm. Now, Jacqueline states that this photo was taken only minutes after being told by her daughter, at which point she reviewed the footage from downstairs. Seeing no one else around, she wasn't sure what to make of this.
Right.
But seeing the bag on the couch move on its own and a small object throw itself at her daughter has led her to believe that this was supernatural.
Yeah, I mean, before the mark on her arm, I thought like maybe like whatever failed next to the chair could have just honestly fell. And the bag could have been hit by a wind, AC, you know, whatever. With the mark on her arm, I did not predict that.
Whether paranormal or not, her daughter's suddenly crying and the mark on her arm is pretty strange.
Right.
But as always, I'll let you come up with your own conclusions. Let me know your thoughts on this one.
It was normal until the mark.
Now taking place inside a family's home, a mother named Courtney films a video of a car seat sitting in the living room. It belongs to her baby daughter, who isn't using it at the moment.
Okay.
However, if she had been, then what just happened earlier wouldn't be so creepy, because according to mom, it was just then that the car seat shook on its own.
Anyone else's car seat just randomly started rocking? My daughter's not in it. the dog know what's up.
Literally nothing here. My baby is sleeping. Don't have a remote. It just did its own thing.
Yeah, the dog is not having it.
Even the family dog was freaked out by this.
Right.
They growl and bark as if sensing something dangerous, but clearly nothing is there. If a couple of toys had been there, then one could argue that the shaking was mainly due to a child's toy that vibrates. But as Courtney explains, that wouldn't be possible because the way it shook was too intense for any toy to generate. The car seat had done this on its own. While nothing in this video seems to show what it could have been, it's the following video that Courtney shared where things get much weirder. According to her, there had been another creepy incident just like this, but unlike recently, this one has left her terrified. While folding laundry and listening to her favorite podcast, this happens.
Yo, hello, what's your favorite podcast? Podcast coming soon, trust. Podcast coming soon. I don't know. I listen to a lot of podcasts. I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. I can't even name my favorite. But yeah, podcast coming soon. That is a promise.
I'm just gonna give this one lady a chance. We'll see how it goes. And we drive there. It's 2.5 hours away, and it looks exactly like my vision. And immediately in my heart,
If it gets dragged away, oh, the dog going ballistic again. I feel like I recognize that voice, but I can't put my finger on it of what podcast that is.
it's great, everything's good to go. I have the papers, I called Drew, he was like in a big PA school at this time, and so he
The
couldn't
dog knows something.
test that day, and this is my vision, and so fast forward to the wedding day. Fast forward to the wedding day.
Told you, the dog knows something.
Like something out of a horror movie, Courtney's dog begins to growl in an empty space. They walk slowly and cautiously as if scared to approach whatever is there. Then, after leaving the room, this happens. A baby bottle slightly moves before plunging right next to Courtney. Naturally, she gets up and leaves in a panic frenzy with her baby. Something weird had just happened, and she wasn't having it. Now, despite there being not much info on the story, it's pretty clear that something strange is going on at Courtney's home.
Yeah.
Whether it's a ghost or not. These two occurrences have no doubt scared the living daylights out of her. But for now, as with most videos, this one remains a mystery.
Okay, right on.
If you caught something creepy on camera, or if there's any ghost videos you'd like me to check out and include in the next compilation, you can send them over to scaryvideos444@gmail.com. That being said, let's get back to the video.
Hey, you heard the man. You heard the man.
Now this final segment features a few clips that all come from a bakery in West Virginia, and it goes without saying, but each video is pretty creepy. The bakery in question is known as Rock City Bakery, and recently, the co-owner of the shop has been posting videos that she wasn't able to share until recently. Now, according to Morgan, the co-owner, all these incidents that were caught on camera are thought to be the doing of a ghost that
What
all
is that?
employees call Harry. Harry apparently has been responsible for all strange things that happen at work, from kitchen trays that fly off the counter to heavy equipment that appears to be pushed by an unseen force. It's safe to say that the bakery has seen a lot of creepy stuff, but nothing compares to the following two videos that were caught at this bakery. According to Morgan, these are videos that she doesn't like to watch as it makes her feel uneasy when she comes to work.
Okay.
Just for context, Morgan would always find misplaced items around the shop, but the one item that's commonly found in odd places is a plastic bowl that's shaped like a spider web. There's actually more than one of these, and for some reason, each one is usually found in places where they shouldn't be in. Morgan believes that Harry, the ghost, is responsible for this. It would happen so often that Morgan had to throw away all the bowls to stop the activity, and it did stop for a while. But then one day, while working a busy shift, Morgan notices a spider.
Dang, hold up. That was kind of impressive. You see how many boxes was on top of each other? And homie was just like it was nothing.
Web bowl laying on the couch where all the customers sit. Perhaps someone had brought it in and left it by accident. Regardless of how it got there, Morgan was spooked out of her mind. So she checks the cameras to see how the bowl had got there, and what she sees scares her to her core. According to Morgan, it appears as if the bowl had morphed out of a painting inside their shop. Have a look.
What? So we got the Flash. We got the Flash turning over stoves. And now we got Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. What the heck was that, bro?
Like viewers, Morgan doesn't know what to make of this. It looks as if the bowl came out of the painting. She believes that this had to be Harry somehow, doing this as an attempt to get back at her for throwing the bowls away. While it's unsure if that's the case, another incident similar to this one was caught on camera that's made her and everyone else at the bakery pretty unnerved. During the late hours of the night, this happens.
Huh? Huh? What the heck is that?
Like before, something comes out of a painting, but this time, more things happen around. Looking closely, a plastic...
Nah. Simple solution. Just burn it all down. That's the simplest solution. Just burn it all down. Cause what the heck is that? I saw a ghost orb or something fly over to the right.
Skeleton falls on its own, but after whatever this was had come out of the painting. As it turns out though, that object was a can of soda. Not really sure what to make of this, Morgan shares the footage online in the hopes that someone could explain this. So far, neither video has been solved, but still, there continues to be strange things that happen at this bakery. Whether it's Harry the ghost or something else, they're still freaked out by all these occurrences. But of course, what are your thoughts on this? Let me know down below.
My thoughts is to burn it all down. I feel like that's the only right solution. Like, am I wrong?
Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed. Also, if you haven't already done so, please subscribe and make sure to hit the bell icon so you don't miss any uploads in the future. Also be sure to check out the official TikTok account for this channel. That being said, until next time.
Yo, thank you, Bizarre Bob. I appreciate you. I appreciate you too, Chillin' Scares, but oh my. This was a crazy amount of videos, y'all. Like I said, whether you believe these ghost videos or not, it's all entertainment at the end of the day. But some of these look legit. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Yeah, these I like combining the two with, like, you know, true crime and the Chilling Scares, because I feel like that's where the real horror is. I watch these to be, don't get me wrong, I do believe in the paranormal and all that, but I feel like these are a little bit more lighthearted. I don't know if that's like I guess like more unserious, more not serious, more, I'm pretty sure y'all know what I'm trying to say, but yeah, I think the combination of the two fits perfectly. But yeah, nah, these were some good ones today. These were some really good ones. Thank y'all for watching. I truly appreciate y'all. Give it a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you want to see more. And until next time, much love, much respect, and peace. Stay spooky, my friends.